Hello everyone, over the past half of the year, I've been trying to beat the Infernum mode for Calamity, which I have almost done in the past, but this time I'm doing it solo, and I'm doing strictly the Rogue class. Every episode is uploaded individually on my YouTube channel, but this is the full compilation of the whole thing. So for those of you that love long-form videos to study or do homework to, this is for you. I hope you enjoy well over an hour of my pain and suffering, as that's what I do for your entertainment. Enjoy the video. Quick disclaimer, the first section of this has my old microphone, which does not sound the best.
One of the best things that you can do in life is learn from your mistakes. So today I'm going to do the exact opposite. Our actions have consequences in the real world, but I threw that all out today because I decided to play the Infernum mod once again. Now Infernum is no normal mod. In addition to the Calamity mod, it makes things about 10 times harder for me. Now I have already played this mod before with one of my friends, but today I'm going to be doing it solo. And I'm also going to be doing the Rogue class, which I've never done before. Houses will be lined up like this. Obviously I'm going to have pylons at some point, but this may make things easier. I did not line that up correctly. Oh my god. Already off to an amazing start. Shortly after building my own house, I went to the left side of the world to explore the desert I had saw earlier. Unfortunately, the Crimson had already gotten to it by the time I'd gotten there. Right here.
All your needs will be met.
I'm hungry!
Grab a few things, don't mind me. After Googling the pronunciation, I'd made myself about 200 nasty choyas, which are small cactus balls that I can throw at enemies. Well, there's no door here, so that means that this is the other. I'll grab this living loom. Finch staff, okay. I'll take that. Oh my god, they're coming after me. Oh, this is a horrible idea. Where are my recalls? That was a horrible idea. Okay. During a mining trip, I had my first run-in with a shimmer trap, which actually ended up helping me in the end. The heck? Oh! Well, I guess that helped me? All hope was, in fact, lost, as I cornered myself into the small section of the mushroom biome because there were so many enemies that were wanting to rip my skin off. This cave that I was in had plenty of life crystals in it, so I managed to get myself up to pretty much full health very quickly. This excitement was very short-lived, as a nymph decided to do a kickflip using my dead body. Oh. Okay. I lose all my money when I die. Gotcha. Oh, that is so far down there. Using the loot that I gained back in the mine, I decided to make myself a golden pickaxe and an amethyst hook, which would greatly help me in the future days to come. Amethyst hook, thank you. See, we're progressing in this world. The Feller of Evergreens, pardon me. As I was exploring the surface, I found this weird shrine right next to the dungeon. I remember seeing this once, but I cannot remember what it does, so I'll probably figure out later on. Until very recently, I had no idea that the rarest item in the game was a painting of Waldo, but I managed to find it very quickly into this run. Using a gravitation potion, I found the Space Arsenal Lab in the meatball in the sky. This is the first of many, and I love these places. They just give off a vibe that just, I don't even know what I'm talking about.
Shut your fucking mouth!
Ignoring the fact that my voice is in much higher quality, I finally got the magic storage to work. I also crafted my next weapon, the Crystalline. It's a dagger that splits into multiple daggers, and during a stealth strike it becomes way more daggers. I am so in love with these automatic platforms. I can't remember which mod it is, but I love them. Infernum's Eye of Cthulhu always reminds me of that one kid who just wants to be so funny, but he really isn't. He tries so hard.
Hey guys, skibbity toilet.
Riz.
Get it? Get it?
It's really funny.
Get it? Cause it's
Get it.
Ow.
Okay. That's so doable, though. That is so doable.
Since I've never played Rogue before, the Rogue class special ability thing is called a Stealth Strike, and I am still getting used to those, so bear with me here. My second attempt against the Eye of Cthulhu went much better. I learned most of his attacks, but he still has a freak ton of health, so...
Am I not allowed to heal during the boss fight? Oh my god, I can't heal during the boss fight.
Another funny thing that this mod does is it removes your ability to use the nurse during a boss fight, so you have to just straight take all the attacks and hope you don't die. I found this cool shrine, by the way. Trying to explore the jungle is inviting a swarm of bees to fly down your windpipe, by the way. I then decided to use some creamy, juicy insta-platforms to expand my arena and make it more usable. This ended up helping a lot, as in my next fight against the Eye of Cthulhu, I died right before I was able to beat it.
I'm gonna get my license soon.
He was at 3% health. That's awesome, actually. Oh my god, he's so low, he's so low, he's so low! Come on, end it off with a stealth strike. Where'd he go? There he is. Got him. Oh my... Yeah!
And with that, the Eye of Cthulhu was defeated. Y'all saw only a few minutes of this, but this actually took me almost an entire day to beat him. He's really difficult in this mode. Now, if you watched my Ultimate Calamity Experience video, you would know that the next boss we have to fight is the Butthole Bandit of the North, the Desert Scourge. Now, Google's dictionary uses Scourge in a very interesting way that I think embodies this boss perfectly. The example sentence was, a scourge of mass unemployment. Now, for anyone who is suffering from this illness, I have some very important information that may help you, although it does contain a slur. Get a job.
Whoa.
Don't fear, there's another option if you don't want to do that. Sell drugs. Did neither of these options work for you? Well, then go ahead and take initiative and walk yourself to the homeless shelter. With enough time and effort using one of these 3 skills, you may end up like me, sitting behind a computer and fighting an enormous worm.
Oh, these vultures need to get out of the way! Yes, I did him!
That's 2 bosses down, which is way better than I thought I would do. But we still have one more to do in this video, and it may be the most annoying one yet. Now, first things first, I need to go down to the Brimstone Crag and get myself 2 things. One, some Hellstone bars from one of the chests, as I cannot mine them yet, and the other one is the Ashen Stalactite. I think that's what it's called. I might need to check that. But these can make 2 very good weapons. Luckily, slime was already falling from the sky, so we had access to the boss right off the bat without needing to summon him. And using the Infernal Chris and the Ashen Stalactite, I challenged the King Slime. Now, this is the King Slime. He's the first one on the boss log, so he can't be that bad. The gem detaches from his crown.
Unlike most things in this game, this gem doesn't just fire the attacks at you. It fires them at where you're going to be relative to your speed. So, you have to constantly be changing your speed or it's going to hit you. Staying still, that's not going to help either, because obviously, it's just going to hit you. Moving at a constant speed, it will fire in front of you until you walk yourself straight into it. So you have to use a bit of skill in this fight instead of just running around. I've had to endure worse. I can do this now. I've learned all of the different tricks this gem uses against me. I can do this.
I said before having a shuriken forcefully shoved into my spinal column.
Okay. I'm gonna try that again.
I could have saved myself so much time if I had just not said that and abandoned the challenge. But no, I just had to keep playing. I just had to win. Now, to save you guys your time, I'll just show you the winning attempt because, you know, it did take me, relative to the other ones, shorter time, but still, it took me a good hour to beat this guy.
There we go.
I really love this death animation, by the way.
Slime down. Oh my god, that's a lot of slime. Freaking balls.
Dropping that many slimes after you die is just overkill, though. Just take that into mind if you ever want to become, you know, a king slime. Hi-ho, it's back to Infernum we go. Welcome back to the world of bug terrain generation, absolutely horrifying boss AI, and wanting to aspirate our own vomit. Last episode, we took on 3 bosses and barely scraped by, but in this one, we're taking on 5. What horrible tragedy led me to doing this mod? I don't know, probably when I was sucking markers dry as a 3-year-old. The first thing I needed to do was make a set of sulfurous armor, which I needed acid wood from the sulfurous sea for. While I was there, I also gathered up a bunch of sulfurous scales from the acid rain event. I then made the mistake of going into the abyss. Next on the list of bosses was Crabulon. I have a very bad history with this boss, as he has always been my least favorite fight. He just is so difficult. His music track does make up for a little bit of it, but I still would rather not. First things first, I had to clear out an area for him. Crabulon being Crabulon, I didn't stand a chance. I'm so screwed. What is that? Since the arena wasn't big enough, I made something called a city buster, which apparently cleared out a large area. It was not what I was expecting, though. What is this? Oh my god. This is too much, dude. This is way too much. I was doing much better with this new arena until Crabulon decided to detach. Okay, yeah. What in the world is he doing? What is that? Okay, that didn't work. And he's down. There we go. What was that, like the third attempt? Now he better have dropped it. Thank you. Oh, that is fast. That is really fast. Holy crap. I'm gonna drop it right here. See how that works. Jeez! Okay, well that is all gone now. Using the City Buster again, I blew an enormous hole into the crust of the earth where I would then fight the Brain of Cthulhu and the Perforators. In a normal world, you blow up the Crimson Hearts or use a Bloody Spine to summon in the Brain of Cthulhu, but in this world you want to use the Summon, because blowing up the hearts is a horrible idea. He catches you while you're going up those weird cavern things. I haven't even gotten to the surface yet and I've already got put at half health. Okay, can you get out of my way please now? Nah, I'm gonna stay here for a while. Screw you. What do I do there? Not wanting to be violated by the Brain of Cthulhu again, I accidentally came up with an insane way to farm these mushrooms in the Calamity mod. Holy crap, what? This isn't like... This isn't cheesing at all. I don't know what you're talking about, bro. Oh my god. How much is this gonna be worth, bro? This is insane. This strategy paid off in the end, as my next attempt at the Brain of Cthulhu was very successful. Know what to do, just attack. Oh, he's doing double now. He's doing double now. He's doing double now. Okay. Okay, so it's just to confuse you. Only the real brain actually does damage. Okay. Oh! No, just going for the kill, just going for the kill, 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 going to kill him, kill him, kill him, kill him, kill him, kill him. Okay, this is horrible. I just need a stealth strike. Yes! I beat him. I beat him! This mod does not give you a moment to calm down, as the Perforators were the next boss, and they absolutely rocked my sh**. What do I do about that? Unfortunately, this fight has multiple segments, and a lot of them are way harder than they have any reason to be. Apart from the main hive, there are 3 different worms that each have their own segment of the boss fight and each have their own behaviors. The first worm just kind of worms around, doesn't have anything special about it, but the hive will still attack you and will still be vulnerable during this segment of the fight. The second worm will fire projectiles at you, and the hive will also fire the same ones at you too. But the hive will be invincible in this phase and will also not deal any contact damage. Look at me, acting like I know what I'm talking about. I don't, by the way. The third worm will fire projectiles at you. While the hive does do contact damage, you will not be able to attack it though, and it will fire these really annoying globs of ichor that just stay in the arena. It's really annoying, really stupid, and I hate it. Every second of it. In case that wasn't enough, the hive, the testicle tumor himself, will attack you right after beating the worm, so you still aren't finished yet. This is the hardest part of the fight, and it killed me 5 times. When I mentioned buggy terrain generation, this is what I meant. This underworld lab holds the Murasama, which I luckily do not need in this playthrough, and the schematic that you need to beat the game. Unfortunately, this biome added by Infernum cut the lab in half and deleted all of the loot inside. I hope you didn't forget about the perforators, because right after finding out that one of my items that I needed was completely gone and having to download a cheat mod just to get it, the perforators caused this absolutely agonizing death.
Just kill it, bro. No, dude, it was at 0.8%.
0.8%. Some sand from the desert above this arena could have fallen on him and killed him. That's how low he was.
Oh my god, I did it! I didn't even realize. Really? Summoning in giant worms and chimeras and dumping this all over the arena, was that really needed?
Now that the perforators had been defeated, the disenchanted aerialite ore was now enchanted and available to mine. The amount of times I've told... Was that a colossal squid? Oh no, it seems like I have drawn the attention of a post-Moon Lord enemy by teleporting into his home. As you guys know, it is now time to mag dump the Queen Bee once more.
Hey, stop reaching.
Just kidding, she tore my scalp off. To save myself the sanity of not having to edit that part, I didn't beat the Queen Bee, but I fought her for a good 2 hours before I gave up. Unfortunately, this just made the... Am I getting a call? Unfortunately, this just made the inevitable come faster. The Skeletron fight. This fight, if you watch my past Infernum playthrough, is the worst. It took us 8 hours to beat him our very first try, and that was with help. Just thought I'd drop this here. While I'm editing this, I have the entire timeline zoomed out, and it's just almost completely silent, except for moments where I failed against Skeletron. Where the audio peaks because I'm, like, yelling into the microphone. It just shows how locked in I had to be for this fight. Sorry for the side tangent, back to the video. I will now list Skeletron's signature moves. We have this thing, whatever that is. I don't know what this is, but it sucks. That. This too. Another that. What is happening? For reference, this right here is at 100 times speed. Yeah, it's still going. It's still going. If you were wondering, it's still going. Yep. Had to ponder on life here for a second. This is not gonna go well, I already know. This might be the hardest boss in the game. Should've listened to my gut there.
No, just
I would have to
imagine
become a vampire at that point. I would have to become a vampire.
No, but just imagine though, they just literally say, yeah, so, a little bit concerned, we've got people looking into this now, you're completely made out of 100% Dr. Pepper.
You know what's better than Dr. Pepper, though?
The answer was Pepsi, by the way. Pepsi's better than Dr. Pepper. Oh, by the way, look at this. Look what I did.
Oh, you're almost there. Come on.
Come on. Oh, my God. Come on. Dude, this could not be going any freaking slower right now. What? Desperation phase, desperation phase, desperation phase, desperation phase, desperation phase. What was that sound effect? I heard the bonk sound effect. Oh, shoot, that was it. I find it really hard to believe that parts of my body have not been ripped off by myself at this point. Oh boy, the abyss. I have to come down here for an item, or 2, or 3, I don't know. The lionfish was what I came down this time for, and it took me not too horribly long to get it, but during that time, it gave me hell. Some more buggy terrain generation here. I kind of need to get into that room. Okay. Alright. Holy damage. It's now time for the Slime God, the second hardest pre-hard mode boss in this game. See how fast I died there? Remember, I have to beat this boss. The first phase consists of this big guy. The second phase consists of this big guy plus this big guy. The third phase consists of just one big guy. And that's the end of the fight. Right? That's the end of the fight, right? In about 9 months, I'm gonna birth slime. So you have to fight him too.
Oh my god, I did it! I did it! Oh my god.
10 out of 10 fight. Definitely blew a hole through my monitor, but it was very fun in the end. Unfortunately, we still have one more boss to go. Oh, the insta bridges get better. The double obsidian insta bridge may be my favorite thing from this mod. 4 mutated testicles with eyes floating around me is not one of my favorite things, though. Just to get that out there. Yeah, I don't like that, believe it or not. Okay. It's not easy, but that's not horrible. This fight is very overstimulated. You got lasers coming from the eyes, you got lasers coming from the wall, you've got a big laser coming from the wall. It's a lot to deal with. The lionfish weapon proved essential for this fight, as its stealth strike would melt the eyes of the wall of flesh. Oh hey, I beat it. Let's go, dude. You want to know what's better than the Infernum mod? Literally anything else, but I'm back again. I don't know why I keep coming back. I mean, we've already encountered some stupid terrain generation twice, where half of the entire lab was destroyed, and the passage into the next part of the dungeon was just gone. But, you know, we innovate. We pass by these roadblocks, and we get through it. Who am I kidding? No, we don't. Somebody smacked me in the head. Last episode, we conquered 6 bosses and entered hard mode. Now that we've entered hard mode, though, we have multiple things that we have to get past before we go to any bosses. Thankfully, though, a random teleportation potion brought me into this huge room in the dungeon, which was previously inaccessible due to a bug. But now since I'm in here, I can use my pickaxe to mine through the dungeon bricks and make an entrance for myself. I then, for 30 minutes, had a mini heart attack continuously because I could not find the astral infection. Using teleportation potions, I tried to find any part of the surface that I had not checked out, but I could not find it. This biome is needed to beat the game, so I was very, very upset. Eventually, I found it in the most inconvenient place possible, the snow biome. Literally, it took over the entire snow biome. I have to fight cryogen in this biome, and I'm going to be dealing with snow biome enemies, astral infection enemies, and a giant ice cube that wants to lick me.
Start digging in your butt, twin!
I needed to kill 3 atlases to get 3 titan hearts, which I needed to make, you guessed it, titan heart armor. I don't know why I said that. You didn't guess that. No. If you said you guessed it, you lied. You're a liar. I hate. I then spent an outrageous amount of time trying to get myself an ichor spear from these ichor stickers. I then prepared for the cryogen fight by building some houses in the snow biome so that I could get a pylon. This would make it so that I wouldn't have to walk back if I died. I then did the same thing underground. This ought to be a normal cryogen fight. What is that? Awesome, great, I love this. There's so many projectiles on the screen. I don't know what to do, where to dodge. Whatever these walls are that he puts on the side of the screen are so unbelievably annoying. I cannot wait to tear every single water molecule out from this solid block of ice. Hey, on the bright side, I died again. Yeah! Oh god, there we go. That low-key wasn't that bad. Stop coping, you know you tore your hair out. So I needed to go down to the ocean to get some items. And I went... Oh, no! No, absolutely not! Get away from me! Editing me here. I'm very terrified at this current moment because I have to fight this boss soon. Like, me, after filming and recording this video, getting everything in this video done, whenever I'm finished uploading this video, I have to fight that thing, and I don't know what it's going to do, and I'm very scared. I'm very scared! Next up was the Queen Slime, and I was, what in the world is that? This mod always has a way of just surprising you, because tell me why that's a thing. What? Anyway, I beat her first try, so I guess I'm just goated? Maybe? Possibly? In a normal run of Terraria, for the mechanical bosses, you want to start with Destroyer. It's usually going to be the easiest one, as it's just a big worm. You just use a piercing weapon, and you're good. The thing is, this isn't a normal run of Terraria, and I don't have a piercing weapon. The Destroyer is going to murder me IRL. He caused such of an issue for me that I ended up beating the other 2 mechanical bosses first. And the other 2 are supposed to be harder. Can I stop this recording? Good lord, the button's not working. The twins fight went very similarly to the Destroyer. I did have a pretty good run with them, but I decided to go with Skeletron Prime first. Usually, he's going to be the hardest, at least in my opinion. But even though he seemed very intimidating with his flashy attacks and the shield he had over his head, he was a very fun fight and actually didn't pose much of a threat. In fact, I beat him first try. After defeating one of his arms, all of the others will immediately die, and he will enter this very angry phase. You can tell by the weird symbols above his head. He will release a giant shockwave and then enter what I call, quote, sicko mode, and he will dash at you firing these giant nails. He also has this crazy attack where he creates a wall of lasers that spins. I don't like it either. Excuse me. Was that first try? I think that was first try. Nice. I then quickly tore a well-deserved hole in Spasmatism's chest cavity.
Weirdo! Get away from me! Dude, he's on 0.4. Come on. Okay. Thank God. Is he gonna explode? Yay! I almost lost to freaking Spaz.
I then spent another 2 hours completely just on Destroyer fights. Finally, after those, like I said, 2 hours, this happened.
Come on, yes!
What in the world? Whoa. Hi, Drayden. What is this cutscene? That's cool. I've never seen that before. That must be new. Now that I'm no longer getting wormed, I can go to the jungle and mine up some chlorophyte. Now that I've beat all of the mechanical bosses, I can craft the blood orange, which is my first permanent increase to my health post life fruits. Charts 625. Where'd the other 100 go? At this point, I started to construct the code breaker, which is Drayden's computer you use to fight the exomechs. But also, you can use it to create some items if you decrypt the right schematics. So, I had to go find the lab in the ice biome as it was the only one that I hadn't found yet. I then found out that unfortunately, one of the accessories I need is dropped by the Aquatic Scourge, the much more moist version of the Texas booty tickler, the Desert Scourge. What are you talking about? This boss is easy. I sentenced you to watch Hereditary Home Alone with all the lights off.
He's at 0.9% health. And he is dead. Okay, is he gonna keep following? Ugh! Is he like vomiting? Bro, he's like vomiting on me. I'm on 3 health. Oh, he just falls into the... That is so cool. And then the Orthocara things are just eating. That is actually so cool. Can I like mine him? Oh my god, I could. I caught his skull. Is he just gonna fade away now? Oh.
Now that Tushy Toucher 2 was down, I finally figured out what this tablet thing is for. It's for a pet. It's a pet item. I thought it was gonna be something crazy like a boss fight. No, it was just a pet. Meet the Forgotten Shadow of Calamitous. The most annoying boss so far, it made me want to tear each and every toenail out with my teeth.
What is this? Gonna shoot a laser at me? Whoa! What? You about to drop the sun on me? Apparently she was.
Since that didn't work out, I went ahead and went for the Brimstone Elemental instead.
Let's try this out. Oh, crap. No, I tapped out of the game. Shoot.
She might have been the easiest boss so far, as I absolutely tore her to shreds on my first attempt.
Oh, what is this death animation? Oh? Oh, she turned gray. That's a cool death animation.
Here's Plantera. Hopefully it's not like my last series.
Bro, there's so many of these.
Oh, no. This is the exact same thing I encountered during my Ultimate Calamity playthrough, and it gave me hell. It took me 3 days to beat Plantera on that. So what am I going to do?
I might have to do Calamitous first. In fact, I think that's what I'm gonna do.
Bro, what? Yo, what do I... Colossal Squid? What? What are you supposed to do about that? Instead of the big robot eye that we're used to in the Calamity mod, Infernum changes it to an actual witch just like Supreme Calamitas. And its brothers are also changed from their robotic, weird eyeball things to these two big dudes. And their attacks are much, much harder to dodge. Oh, they murdered me. This was by far the hardest fight yet, and it spanned over multiple days of fighting just this boss. On one of those days, I booted up the game and started an attempt. This ended up being my best attempt so far, and I realized that if I kill the brothers, I most likely will be able to finish the fight. Each attempt, I would get closer and closer to killing the brothers. This was definitely possible. I noticed that my problem in the fight was not being able to go down fast enough. So, since I have much better wings than I did in the Skeletron fight, which is where I'm fighting this boss, I could get rid of some of the platforms in the middle to make it much easier to go down. And believe it or not, this strategy actually, never mind, no it didn't work. However, 10 or so attempts later, I managed to take down the brothers, and the next part of the fight started. When I got her down to 20% health, she had this little anime villain moment that scared the crap out of me. I'm just getting started. Oh my goodness. The Calamitas clone has much more scary attacks during this phase, and I almost died multiple times. Oh my god. Brace yourself. What? Is she dead? Please tell me she's dead. Oh, yeah. Uh-oh. She thought. I got the Shadow of Calamitous plushie. I got the Cataclysm relic. Or, not relic. The, trophy. Oh my goodness gracious. Unfortunately, my pain and suffering was not over yet, as now that I've beat Calamitas, I have to go on to Plantera. First, I battled a solar eclipse so I could get solar veils in order to make totality breakers, which are basically just improved Molotovs. I would also need these solar veils later for a set of armor. The Terror Talons proved to be very effective in this fight, and after clearing out just a tad more space in the arena, Plantera went down pretty easily. Oh shoot, I beat her. While I've technically done everything I needed to do in this video, I decided to kickstart some of the things for next episode and get rid of all of the spikes in the temple. Now there is one thing I remember about the Golem fight. I'm not going to spoil it, but he becomes very similar to a certain character that I know.
Do you want a wiener in your mouth?
I then slaughtered a few Mothrons for no apparent reason. I then made this thing. I farmed a bit in the dungeon, and that's about it. For some unexplainable reason, I keep coming back to Infernum mod. Welcome back to this absolutely atrocious difficulty where every single boss in the game that would normally take just a few attempts takes 14 or 15,000. And along with wanting to wedge both of my kneecaps off very slowly and painfully after each and every death, I also have to deal with terrain generation, which can be buggy at best. And I'm not going to make you sit through 10 hours of intro, so we're straight into the Anahita fight, as you can see. However, the funny thing about this fight is that it's called Anahita and the Leviathan for a reason. There's not just her, there's also her.
What the fuck is that?
Whoa, he's riding him. I didn't even know you could do that.
After degloving the Leviathan, there was only one thing left to do, and that's kill Anahita. Do people actually think that this boss is hard? I killed it on my first try, and I suck. Easy fight. Easy fight. A cloud elemental then attempted to blow my kneecaps off Joel Miller style. As I was trying to farm sand elementals during a sandstorm, I was randomly jumped by the Empress of Light. Oh my god, the Empress of Light, what? That situation ended about how you'd expect. It was now time to take on Astrum Aureus, a giant space crab unfortunately created by Drayden. The lore states that he was built to survey battlegrounds, but the only thing he's been surveying for the past 13 hours is the inside of my chest cavity. Okay. This is doable. Ah, there we go. Alright. Forgotten blob of the astral meteor. What is that? Is that Astrogeldon? Well, now it's time for one of the most fun fights in this mod, the Golem fight. Oh shoot, what in the world? What in the world? However, this run was cut short by the Queen Bee wanting to show her face. Surprisingly though, the third attempt went really well. Why my game speed up so much at the end? Because it's been lagging for a while. Oh my goodness. Oh my god. After defeating Sans Undertale, I went down to the Abyss to mine up some Scoria ore. I then remembered that I never mined any cryonic ore after I beat Cryogen. You need cryonic ore in order to make life alloys, which are a very important crafting ingredient. In fact, I hadn't mined much perennial ore either, which you also need to make it. Unfortunately, my next few items were all dropped by the Plaguebringer Goliath, which is one of the hardest bosses in Infernum. I really don't feel like editing all of what I had to endure, but this fight gave me a false sense of hope, as when I first attempted it, I got it to about 18%. But the fight ended up taking me over a week to beat. This boss is absolutely horrendous. Not in how it's designed. It's designed very well, but in how difficult it is. And it drops nukes on you multiple times. And don't even get me started on this laser drone attack. I ended up just using the Rod of Discord to get out of it without having to actually fight off the drones. That's how annoying it was. And I had a mini heart attack on the winning attempt because this last nuke attack lagged my game so much that it put my game at about half-time speed.
Stupid drones are getting in the way. I'm trying to kill her. She's at 2.4% health. 1.2% health. Come on. Yes! I killed her. Oh my god, they're still building the nuke. They are still building the nuke. Is it actually going to fire the nuke at me? Oh my god, it actually fired the nuke at me. Oh no. She's attacking me from beyond the grave. No! I got killed by the nuke. I killed her, but then I got killed by her nuke. I mean, She deserves that. She deserves that kill. No, she absolutely does not. She absolutely does not deserve that kill after what she made me go through. I then proceeded to wipe my crack with Duke Fishron's corpse. Oh, I killed him. Oh, I killed him. Me being out of breath there was just an act. I absolutely had no problem with that fight.
It sounds like you've been like physically fighting him.
I then baked a cake on top of a landmine and shoved the lunatic cultist's face into it.
What? What are you doing? He's at 0%. He's dead. What was that attack? Oh, he's dead.
I then took out the pillars one by one, collecting the fragments and the meld blobs that they dropped along the way. And then finally, with the solar pillar down, I decided to get ready for the Moonlord as he was about to spawn. I did not think he was going to spawn that fast. Escaping wasn't an option either, as he blew out my eardrums when I tried to. He then removed my soul from my body, sparking the longest leg of this challenge yet. Clearly, the Moonlord wasn't an option at this point, so I decided to get the sun dropped on me instead and try and fight Astrum Deus. Thankfully, Astrum Deus didn't pose too much of a threat. Is that a black hole? 2.6% health. 2.6% health. Another funny attack that he likes to do is collide galaxies on top of me. But I still beat him anyway because he was kind of light. He killed me. Never mind. The only reason I was able to complete this episode is because I killed Astrum Deus. As since he allows me to mine astral ore, this allowed me to make the Radiant Star, which is a direct upgrade to the Crystalline that I made earlier on in the challenge. After an absolutely heartbreaking 8 hours out of this entire challenge, I finally came up with a solution. I placed heart statues on a 1/4 of a second timer all around the arena, and then used this magnet item that I got from the Wall of Flesh to, whenever I needed to heal, but I couldn't use a healing potion, suck in all of the hearts at once. And it actually worked. Come on, 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 come on. Come on, 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 come on. Yes, yes! I beat him. Well, at least I didn't overreact.
Shut your fucking mouth!
Oh my goodness. And now I have beaten Terraria on Infernum mode. Unfortunately, that doesn't mean we're done yet, because I have to beat the rest of Calamity in Infernum mode. With each episode of Infernum, I lose more and more of my sanity, yet I still come back to it. Why do I do this? Science may never know the answer. Alright, so I need to get the Empyrean armor. If it wasn't already obvious, I'm using a loadout guide throughout this entire video, so please go subscribe to Get Good Whoa. Get, you know what I mean. An accessory I needed to get was the Absorber, which needed the Grand Gelatin, which needed these 3 jellies, which I had to go on a long and tedious process to get all 3 of them. Since I had 2 of one of the jellies, I was able to shimmer it into one of the ones I wanted, but I still had to hunt for that last one. Unfortunately, the only reliable way to get them was to go into the abyss, which I What is that?
Okay, so don't use the Rod of Discord down in the abyss.
Luckily, I was easily able to find a Mirage Jelly after definitely not dying to that thing.
Okay, what did it drop? Oh, it dropped the pink one and the green one. Well, I have the green one. I needed the pink one.
And soon after, I was able to make the Absorber. After reforging my weapons and accessories, I decided to take on the next boss, which was the Dragon Folly.
Okay, I do think the Lunar Kunai are the best ones we have. Okay. I hope this isn't like a plague bringer type thing where it seems so much easier than it actually is because of what I got because my first attempt. God, I can't speak. Okay.
The soul was extractinated by Dragon Folly.
Let's see, which one of these should I choose?
What in the world? What? What was that? I then realized that I needed to gather up some Exodium clusters and some more Luminite, and then I also needed to rig up some heart statues in my arena. Dude, he's so low! He's at 1% health! 1% health! Have you ever wondered what it feels like to have 1,000 volts of electricity going right into your testicles?
I beg your pardon?
Start digging in your butt, twin.
Luckily, the Dragon Folly gets me prepared for the upcoming Yaron fight in one of the next episodes, so be ready for that. Anyway, I beat it.
That took a few too many. A mini burb. Oh, it's a bumble burb.
I also got this sick Dragon Folly mount. I love this thing. Since I did beat the Moon Lord last episode, there are these new creatures in the Hollow and the Underworld that want to bury themselves deep inside my urinary tract. Unfortunately, I have to subject myself to this because I need Unholy Essence, which is dropped by each of these enemies. This is all in preparation to one of the worst fights I have ever experienced. Say hello to the Profane Guardians, previously known as the Chicken Nuggets. These guys are an annoying trio that like to work together and use the power of teamwork against me.
I remember this fight being absolutely horrendous.
And you remembered correctly, past me. In fact, from this point forward, it took me a grand total of 3.5 hours of straight fights against these guys. Here's a funny little thing that they like to do. Here's another funny little thing that they like to do. Here's an especially annoying thing that they like to do. Oh, and here's another, just in case the other ones weren't enough. I could be doing something productive right now, but instead I'm sitting here dealing with 3 stupid nuggets. And then I actually started to make progress. Just kidding. Yeah, I actually managed to beat 2 of the 3 of the Guardians in the first hour. Unfortunately, the other 2 were not as successful. The average Terraria player on their first try of Infernum, beating this fight in an average or at least reasonable amount of time, is about as realistic as those cave diving videos on TikTok.
As Timothy Jones explored the Satan's Urethra Cave, he came across a pit in the cave. Unfortunately for him, this pit was too wide, so he had to find another way across. Thankfully, a boulder was there to help, and it covered up the hole in the cave. Unfortunately for him, another boulder decided that it didn't like his head, and he was smushed by the boulder. Fortunately for him, he survived until the boulder fell on his head, and he was pronounced dead 15 years before rescuers arrived.
Now, I hope I did good on that rendition of what I've been seeing all over the internet, but now we've got to get back to Infernum. I think we can all agree that I hate the nuggets, and I don't want to have to sit through 5 more hours of their fight, so let's just cut to the winning attempt.
No way.
No way, no way, no way, no way, no way. Yes! 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 Oh my god! Yes! Oh, I beat him! Oh, I beat him! 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 Oh, that was amazing. Unfortunately, the pain is not over. At least this pain is a little more fun. That came out wrong. No, wait, no! It's time for one of my favorite, if not my favorite boss in this mod. Not just in Infernum, but in Calamity too. Infernum does make it better though. Because of its music sync in the fight, it just makes it so satisfying to play. Of course, I'm talking about Providence. Why else would I be standing at the entrance to this dungeon that she has thankfully set out right in front of me? Providence is a big, rocky mummy. I'm cutting that out of the video.
Excuse me, what the actual fuck?
Providence is a big, rocky goddess, also known as the profaned goddess. Now, I'm not sure what any of this has to do with profanity, but it's cool, so I'm not going to question it. I'm going to guess she's some sort of, like, anti-god. That's why it's called the profaned goddess. I don't know. I need to read up on the Calamity lore because I love this mod so much. Anyway, it looks like we're here in the boss room, so let's get to the fight. The music starts with this fireball attack as the music builds up to the drop. After this, she goes full-on fire mode and begins to chase you with a barrage of different attacks. Once you've done enough damage to her, she will begin literally raising hell from beneath you. Also known as a giant lake of lava, now restricting your access to only half of the arena. After another fireball attack, she summons a ton of these different bombs. I know they don't look like bombs, but they explode like bombs, and they do a lot of damage. This is the perfect opportunity to build up your adrenaline. Once she's finished with that, you have it all just thrown at you at once. So, good luck if you ever want to try this fight. No! You get hit by a single one of those, you're dead. beat her! I beat her! Oh my god, I beat her! Oh my god. What in the world? What in the world? What? What was that? That, my friend, is an old friend of yours.
He told me to not get cocky.
Too bad, I'm full of
After looking at my loadout guide, I knew what I needed to do next. Yeah, we're doing this next episode. Infernum is an experience I will not forget for a long... Shut up, cat. You wanna say something? You wanna say something to the bar? You got something to say, kitty? No? Okay. Okay. Oh, I love that. As I was saying, Infernum is an experience that I will not forget for a long time, especially after this episode, as I only finished recording this episode 2 days before I am recording this narration, and it was horrendously horrible. As you can see in the background, I am fighting Ceaseless Void at this current moment, which means that I've moved on to the stage in the game where I have to fight the Sentinels of the Devourer. These 3 bosses were absolutely terrible. Not in their fight was bad. In fact, their fight was very well made and very fun, but they were just extremely difficult and took me absolutely forever. The hardest of the 3 bosses ended up being Cygnus, which normally he is the hardest, so I guess that checks out. But the easiest ended up being Ceaseless Void, and the second easiest being Stormweaver. I guess that would also make him the second hardest. All in all, I wish that I did not have to fight these bosses, like, ever again. And I probably, you know, I have the right to not fight them again, but knowing me in the future, I will 100% be fighting them again. I put myself through torture for you guys, so you should hit that subscribe button, because it would be pretty awesome. What is she about to do, bro? What is this, bro? What in the world? At this point, I decided to take out the Empress of Light, since I hadn't done that in hard mode. And, just, look for yourself at this. What's happening? Can't do damage to her. Oh my god, that is a big laser. Yeah. Whoa. Why is the moon? Why did the moon disappear for a second? There we go. There we go. Empress of Light down. Okay. After Ceaseless Void absolutely destroyed me and I gave up, I went on to Stormweaver, who did the same thing to me. The exact same thing. I made myself a set of Targon armor, and that seemed to help a little bit, as I was doing much better during Ceaseless Void's fight. I would really appreciate if I would not die at the very last part of the fight. That would in fact be very awesome. Please don't die, please don't die, please don't die. He's almost dead. Did I kill him? I don't know. I don't know what I got him to. I don't know how low he was. Oh, he must have been like on the brink of death, dude. Yes, like I said, multiple times, I got him so low, a single cough could kill this man. I brutally tortured him to the brink of death, but he still somehow, some way, held on by a thread every single time. Oh my goodness! Desperation phase, I'm guessing. Don't hit me. Don't hit me. Oh. There we go. Alright. After filling Ceaseless Void with my victory, it was time to move on to the next Sentinel, the Stormweaver. My weapon of choice for the Stormweaver fight was the Alpha Virus, as it matches me because I'm an Alpha Sigma! Oh, there we go. Stormweaver down. Let's go. And I got the armored shells that I needed. Ooh, thunderstorm. Alright, nice. After After using the alpha virus to show Stormweaver who's really the alpha.
What the fuck is that?
I then finally created an above ground mushroom biome so I could get shroomite bars to upgrade my magic storage, since I hadn't done that in a while. Wait, what the heck? Was that first try? I was having so much trouble with this. I just beat it first try. And I got the Spectral Veil. To clarify, it was my first attempt of the day. Not my first attempt, period. This took me way too long to do. I'd like to formally apologize because I said that the Sentinels were hard. I was not prepared for Poltergeist. Poltergeist has taken me the longest so far, keep in mind, so far, of any boss in this run. Although that would change very, very soon, it still was very, very challenging. Okay. This is going to be difficult. I refined the Ceaseless Void Arena a little bit just to compensate for how big Poltergeist was with all 4 of its gigantic legs, and ultimately failed. So I tripled the size of the arena. Now we're getting somewhere. Using the Alpha virus once more, I started to do a lot of damage to Poltergeist. Unfortunately, these special attack phases right here always messed me up. Holy crap, guys. Poltergeist just left his phone on the couch and I picked it up and I read his messages with the Dryad. Look at this.
You Baners will never understand what it's like being a nice guy like me.
Shut your fucking mouth!
Oh!
Yes! Eat it, Poltergeist!
I mean, if we're talking about the Dryad side.
Excuse me, what the actual
I now had to hunt some Reaper Sharks down in the Abyss, which was very, very interesting. The bottom layer of the Abyss is very dark and very scary. Well, it seems for this episode, there's only one more boss to fight. And it's not the old Duke, I am not fighting that guy. It's the Devourer of Gods. This is gonna be fun. I think it's safe to say I was not prepared for this boss. Just watch how fast it takes to kill me. Yeah. What was that, like 5 seconds? And that was not sped up. In the end, it took me 7 hours of split up fights over the course of like multiple weeks. And I had to make this entire arena across half of the world. That's how much trouble this boss gave me. The fight starts off very simple. It just charges and attacks you and you have to dodge to the side. He then shoots about 1,000,000 lasers at you, but this attack is fairly easy to dodge. Once you get him down to 80% health, he goes into this little portal of his and comes out in his second phase, which is much faster and much more difficult to dodge. Did I mention the fact that touching him is pretty much instant death? I probably should have left that in. And don't worry, he has plenty more lasers where that came from. Thankfully, he is the very last booty bandit that we have to fight in this mod. We survived the desert and aquatic scourge, it's now time to survive the scourge of the universe. He needs a specific nickname related to banditing the booties. That makes no sense, you know what I mean. Leave it in the comments what you would like to call him.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
And yet, after all that effort, I still died. At least I killed the boss, though, so, I mean, it counts. we killed each other at the same time. You can't even imagine the relief that I felt after finally beating that boss. I would be able to put it into words, but I accidentally knocked my microphone off during that final fight. Like, it just smacked it off my desk and it fell onto the floor. So, unfortunately, we don't have that reaction, but you could probably guess what it was like. Just look up any video of somebody beating a hard Geometry Dash level. That's basically what my entire family was hearing at that moment. Well, I don't think anyone thought that this day would finally come where I beat the Infernum mode of Calamity Mod. But we'll get to that later. First, we have to do all of the steps before that. It had been a good amount of time since I last uploaded one of these, and that was for one simple reason. Yaron took forever. While that was not the only mishap that went on during this final episode's recording, oh my god, it was definitely the largest. The hardest part about this series is finding the right gear, which is why I decided to use a loadout guide for the entire playthrough. Following along with the loadout guide, the first thing I needed to do now that I've beaten the Devourer of Gods is get the materials from the post-Devourer of Gods events. These materials being Endothermic Energy, Nightmare Fuel, and Dark Sun Fragments from the Frost and Pumpkin Moons and the Solar Eclipse respectively. I then crafted up some new accessories and got ready to fight Yaron. Surely this can't go wrong. Oh no. Oh no. No, this is going to be horrible. Don't be so negative. It can't be that bad, right? He doesn't seem to have that. I'm gonna die. I am gonna die though. I remember when I had a pet chicken. It died within a week because something broke into the chicken coop with this force greater than I could imagine as it snapped a 2x4 in half just to get in. Still don't know what that was, but it died so quickly. I wish I could do the same with this chicken, and I've kept my chicken alive. But unfortunately, that's not how the world works. So I'm stuck here with this gigantic bird dragon thing repeatedly killing me over and over again for 3 months straight. 3 months straight. That's what the gap in uploads was me fighting this thing for 3 months straight. I initially thought that the Devourer of Gods was going to be the hardest fight. Nope, it was Yaron. Now I'm going to explain some of the attacks that I had to dodge to beat this bird. The video in the background will be slowed down just so you can comprehend what's happening. These two fireballs right here that he shoots out summon enormous tornadoes upon contact with me. Here are said tornadoes. This fire-breathing dodge with the fireball shooting out his back is incredibly hard to dodge if you get caught underneath it. I'm already bored of listing these off. Let's go to a YouTube Shorts comment section and read off some of the things that Yaron himself has commented in the past year.
Speed, new challenge for you. It looks easy, but it's called an L-sit. I know you can't do this. Bro, what? This is the most easiest I have probably ever came across to. Sitting on your ass and just lifting up? Do it? Okay, alright.
What the fuck is that? Lee did it, but now I am in hospital.
W speed. 6, 7.
Rose starts hitting the gym. Damn.
Speed is going in. W speed.
Okay, that was good. That was a good run. That was a good run. That was a good run. Okay, here we go. Back on the Yaron attempts. Been trying to beat this boss for almost 3 months now. Okay, cat, no. Stop. Not the time, cat. Cat's jumping on top of me. Okay, here we go. crap, it does a lot of damage. I am so dead. Why does he do so much damage? Whoa, wait. Did I kill him as I died? Wait, how did he die? Whoa! Wait, how did he die? Wait, what? Well... Oh my god. And just like that, Yaron was down, and it was on to the next challenge, Drayden in the Exomex. The first thing I needed to do was mine auric ore in the underground. Although, there was one challenge. If you touched auric ore, it would zap you and launch you backwards, which could be deadly if you were near lava. Luckily, I was immune to it. Combining my previous armor sets, I created the Auric Tesla armor. This is the final armor set in the game and would carry me through the rest of the fights. And Final Dawn all need to be reforged. Help me. That's what I'm going to be saying in a second. Okay, well, the code breaker is now... Okay, there it is. What's this? Oh. Well, I could probably just get that out of here. Put that in the... Put that in there. Well... Oh, wait, I forgot to reforge my stuff. I don't even know how half of this stuff works yet. Oh, hi, Drayden. I've waited long for this moment. Your nature fascinates me, for I do not understand it. You will face my creations, which have surpassed gods, and you will show me your disposition through battle. Now choose. Pick two. The first mech will be fought alone. Once sufficiently damaged, the second mech will be summoned, and the two will fight together. Oh god. Okay. Oh, straight into it, I see. Oh. My disc was herniated by Exo Overlord Beam. I think it did a little more than herniate my disc.
Freddy Fazbear's digging in they butt.
The best strategy ended up being summoning Thanatos, I think that's how you pronounce it, and then Ares in that order. And then using the Final Dawn Stealth Strike to lay down a lane of fire that the worm would constantly be crawling through. This ended up dropping the worm's health extremely fast, and I used this strategy for the winning attempt. The final reappearance of the Texas Booty Tickler was no match for me, except for this extremely annoying star attack that would one-shot you no matter what. Once his health dropped past 50%, Ares would then spawn in and use the Exo Overload Beam, which would also one-shot you if you got caught in it. In between these laser attacks, he would use these red laser katanas that were extremely difficult to dodge at the beginning, but once I learned how to dodge them, it was really fun actually. The hardest of the XMX were Artemis and Apollo, the two upgraded twins. These laser attacks that they would use were almost impossible to dodge at first. It took me much longer than the others to get used to these. Oh my god! Oh my god, hold on, I gotta pause the game. You know how I downloaded that 1 in 10,000 chance every second for Foxy Jump Scare? That mod? I just got jump scared. That scared the crap out of me. And then tragedy struck. My recording crashed while I was fighting, and I didn't realize until after. But on the winning attempt, it was not recording, which is horrible, but I could not care less because I am not fighting them again. Here's a quick little montage of me crafting all of the different things that I need to make my final few weapons for the Supreme Calamitous fight. Right, Calamitous. This final fight was definitely my favorite of the mod. It was pretty difficult, but it was more balanced than the others and was much more fun.
my heart lays dead and my mind's driven insane. The pale illustration of myself trying to reach for the stars. But if in the end there's no one that can hear the sounds of my soul writhing in flame, then let the storm before dawn be gone, as dark as my own
Whoa! What is she doing? What is she doing? What is she doing? What is she doing? Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, she's not doing any damage to me. What is happening? What is happening? Huh? What? Wait, did I beat it? She's at 0. Is there any, like one last attack or? Do I need to like shoot her? Congratulations. I beat her. Oh my god. Oh. Oh my god. I beat Infernum. Holy crap, dude. Imagine I wasn't recording. That would be horrible. Oh my goodness. Well, I don't know what else to say. This, I didn't think that I would be able to actually beat this. Oh my goodness. Well, thank you guys, like, all for watching this series. This series has been one of my favorite to create and least favorite to create at the same time. If you enjoyed this, please consider leaving a like and checking out my other videos, because all of my videos are like this. Well, most of them. And comment any other series that you would like me to do. I would love to play the new Wrath of the Gods version. I think that would be awesome. But you guys let me know. Alright, well, thank you all for watching this this series. And I will see you guys at the next one. Goodbye.